Let's take a look at some of these amp models in the GT-1000 because I think they are the function that a lot of you are most interested in based on the comments on the last video, and they're probably the part of the GT-1000 which is the most difficult to understand. It's pretty easy to understand that it does like guitar effects, but a lot of these amp models are not brand specific like you'll find a lot of other products. They're essentially idealized versions of amps that exist in the real world, and Boss basically sort of came out and went, you know what, these aren't authentic, they don't behave the way you would expect them, so use your ears, not your eyes. And I think that's great advice in general. So let's just check them out. All of these are going to be paired up with just a little bit of this plate reverb going on here, which I really like the sound of. Where's the mix at? Like 12%, so just a little bit to sweeten it up. I'm using the original cab that comes paired together. If you remember from the last video, the Air D modeling, basically they try to model the entire signal chain, including the amp, power amp, and the speaker. And then for the output, basically the settings that I'm using, if you have a look here, I'm on the recording setting, and then on this guy here, I have the low cut at 80 Hertz and the high cut at 8K. That's basically all that's going on. There's a noise suppressor on all of it, and we're going to start with this natural amp. I'm playing my 77 Strat. I'll start on the neck pickup with everything at noon. There is a transparent Air D preamp, but that's basically just a DI. So we'll start with natural. This is, I guess, meant to be like a blackface JC120 hybrid. There is a gain switch. We can try it. It's on the middle switch at the moment. Let's just try it on high. I think I like that a little bit more with this one. From that, using my ears, it could do with a little bit more bass, and maybe I just peel the treble back a little bit. Let's have a listen. That's almost getting to that edge of breakup kind of thing if we pull the gain up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is bring the overall amp level down just so we don't hit clipping. That's pretty cool. It gets crunchy pretty quick once you pass halfway. If we go maybe to 65, back on the neck pickup. So it doesn't take a whole lot of tweaking. It does feel just kind of stiff at the moment. I guess that would be, it doesn't really have much going on in terms of touch sensitivity or dynamics, but we can fix that if I turn the sag control up. Let's turn it all the way up. That's cool. That feels a lot better. I think the sag control essentially is like a power amp compression control there. So that improves the feel a lot. If you're playing it and it just kind of feels a bit nothing, turn the sag up because it was at 0 there. So that's a pretty cool, I guess, Fender-y kind of clean sound. Moving on from that particular preamp, we've got the Boutique. Let's just hear it at the same settings. kind of going for a Vox vibe, I'm guessing there. So let's go down to the middle gain, and I'll bring the level up a little bit. Let's just have a listen to that. I reckon it could do with a bit more chime and a bit more mid-range with this guitar. Yeah, just feeling that, the sag control, turn it up, that seems to be good with this. If I turn it up a little bit more with this particular amp. That's cool. I really like that. The resonance control is like a low-end control. If I turn it up. Kind of smooths everything out there, and then there's also a bright switch if I turn it on. Seems to be so far anyway with these amps that you don't have to go extreme with the EQ controls either. I really like that for a kind of swampy sound. Let's move right along. We've got Supreme, which is more like a high gain kind of thing. I should probably bring some stuff back, but let's just hear it. Cool, so that's a little bit fizzy sounding. What I'll do is bring the resonance up to kill that. This sounds like I could do some more mids with this guitar, and this guitar is very bright, so I'll bring the treble down, and I'll add a bit of presence, because to me this is kind of like a Marshally kind of thing, and presence is always good. Let's try this with a humbucker equipped guitar, because I think this will give me better results. Alrighty, this is my PRS SC245, same setting. Let's try this. Let's try boost it. I'll chuck a tube screamer in front of this with the drive at 0, the level at 100, and I'm going to bring the gain on the amp down a little bit, and also boost a bit of bass. Let's hear this. That's not too bad. I like the gain structure. I'm really particular with IR, so what I'm going to do is load up one of my own IRs in here as opposed to these cabs, because I suspect that is going to be a very big factor. This is my standard recording impulse that I use. If you've seen it in my other modeling videos, I normally use this one. It's a V30 impulse. Let's hear it. All right, this is way more like it. Let's do some tweaking here. Bring the presence back. I'll bring a bit of mid-range out, and we can pump even more bass into this guy. So for high gain stuff, turn the sag all the way down and it is way tighter. I'm digging that. I'll turn the boost off. So in that case, I think for the high gain stuff, I'm going to stick with this particular IR because that just makes things a whole lot better in my opinion. So we've got this one going on, Supreme. Let's try maximum, same settings. It's just a teeny weeny little bit fizzier than the other one. So let's do this. I'll push the mids a bit. I'll dial the bass back. Resonance I like up. Let's play around with the presence control. If I turn it off, it's not quite the same, but it does have a little bit of a Mark series thing going on here. Like if you pull the bass and middle down, what if I did this just out of curiosity and take an EQ? Let's take a graphic EQ and let's pull a little bit of 1K out and a little bit of 500 out and boost a bit of 2K and a teeny weeny little bit of 4K. And let's boost like 125 as well, kind of like a Mesa V-shaped thing. That definitely helps with that. Yeah, that I'm guessing is probably their idealized Mark series amp, but do not quote me on that one. That's how I'd use it anyway. So we've got the maximum. There's the Juggernaut, which is essentially like a 5150 style thing. I'll leave the boost on for some metal stuff. I don't think I like that one as much as the last one. Then there are these X series amps in here, which essentially kind of like multi-band processing going on. I think they process the lows, the mids, and the highs differently. So let's do this. We'll turn this guy off and we'll have a listen to the crunch sound. I want to turn that one, not the preamp off. I'm on the wrong thing. So I'll kind of level everything. That's all roughly in the middle again, which is pretty cool. And I'll turn the sag up because for crunchy stuff and cleaner stuff, I think the sag really helps, as I said earlier. So let's just try this. I think I like this one the most out of the crunchy amps so far. You can hear there's a lot of clarity in the notes, so you can you can hear how out of tune my guitar is there. But I guess this is vaguely like Marshall-y, where you can see turning the bass down and boosting the mids and the treble really help there. But it's got a nice kind of touch-sensitive feel again. One thing I do notice, so when people talk about modeling, the kind of the chirps or the squirrels are definitely present if you pick way too hard there. So that's X crunch. Let's try X high gain. Cool, I like that one a lot more than the Juggernaut. Let's boost it. Yeah, that's pretty happening for a high gain thing. There is this kind of tubbiness in there, which I think I need to play around with the sag. Maybe if I don't turn the sag all the way down and I bring the resonance down a bit, we can get rid of that. Or maybe just turn the gain down, you maniac. So that's X high gain. The last one we're going to try is this modded one, which I imagine is like an idealized modded Marshall. Let's turn the boost off so that we can hear the amp. That's my first guitar tone. And there's a little bit of lead stuff with some delay and a boost in there again. Out of all of those, for me, what for the type of music I like to play, I'd probably say that X high gain and the boutique were the two standouts for me. The boutique for edge of breakup style stuff or for cleans, and then this X high gain or maybe the maximum. It is one of those things, if you want super accurate modeling, this is not the unit for you, because if you're used to a particular type of amp, it's either not modeled or there's a kind of idealized version of it, which, you know, like on a JTM45, when you turn the treble up and you're on the bright channel, it gets this real kind of like ice picky kind of thing in there where you have to turn your guitar tone control down to get the most out of it. I can't hear anything on this which is doing that kind of thing, whereas something like the Axe FX does. But some people don't want that. Some people just want this really limited palette. They don't want it to sound bad. And it seems like Boss's philosophy with this unit is it's like no matter where you put the knobs, it doesn't necessarily sound bad, whatever bad means to you. There are a couple of models in there where you can see you need to balance out the resonance and the sag and the presence to manage the fizz, just like any high gain amp. You can also use the high cut in there. And for high gain stuff anyway, I think using custom IRs is the way to go. Just in general with any modeler, like find the right IR for you and then base all your other tones around that. But for the clean sounds, that boutique and whatever the matching cab is, I think sounded great. If I was going to do like say a funk R&B gig or something like that, I would use that one with a bit of compression, a little bit of reverb, and then some delay and a drive pedal. So that would sort me out. The high gain stuff, I would probably need to spend a little bit more time tweaking and do some post EQ to really get the most out of it. But hopefully that demonstrates what these idealized Air D preamps actually sound like and what they do without reading about them. You know, if you get a chance to try one of these, just get in there and twist the knobs and follow your ears, not your eyes. Thanks so much for watching the video. I will see you guys next time.